cycle. Yeah. Let's do this, baby. All right. So that the reattraction cycle, yes, it also starts with discovery, right? It starts with discovery and some version of what I already shared with you, but we're going to take a different path. Okay, this is a universal roadmap, something to show you real quick, to show you what's possible, right? But this leads to grounding. This leads to grounding. I'm going to explain grounding, right? Nothing you do outside of grounding is going to stand. It's sort of like, you know, a relationship with a person that you don't really know is because of the novelty. It's exciting, you know, and you don't really know them like that, right? So that's not grounded. So it's not gonna, it's not gonna stand, right? After grounding, that leads to a purpose, right? Purpose. This is the path we're going to take. So if you do anything and you don't have a strong why, a why that's big enough to make you cry behind it, it's going to fail. Like anything else in life, it's going to fail. All right. So after purpose, what do we have? Purpose leads to self-discovery. You know how some people say, you need to discover yourself first. I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You cannot discover self if you haven't been through if you haven't been through pain. It's literally impossible. A person should discover themselves before what? How do you discover yourself without contrast? Discover yourself against what? You have no experience, right? So are you saying people have to go through first? I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. You can discover just as much as what you know. Okay, this is just logic. Okay, the simple fact of life. Okay, you're not going to discover more than what you know because you're a human being. Okay, so but when you've gone through some things in life, self-discovery even becomes sharper. I'll give you an example. I remember the first time, because I use glasses. I'm short-sighted, right? So I can't see anything that's far. I need my glasses to drive when I don't know where I'm going, right? So, and I think I started using glasses when I was 38, right? Or 38, 39-ish, like less than a decade ago. For the longest, I would make fun of my wife because she uses glasses for as long as I've known her. So she uses it for reading. So I was like, I have sharp eyes. I will never need glasses. And I got this gig, and it was in healthcare, and they needed to do, their necessary tests and all that kind of stuff. And then they requested for a physical test, Now, I'm a tech person, so asking for a physical test when I'm actually going to be on laptop for the most part is weird, but, they requested for it. So I decided to take the test. And then the guy, the eye doctor, was like, how could you see? I was like, what do you mean, how could you see? I was like, I can see. It's like, no, you can't. Can you read that again? I was like, and it was like, you can't see that. I was like, wait, what? See, you don't know what you don't know, right? So suddenly I discovered that my eyes were not as sharp as they were. What's the point I'm making here? You cannot discover what you can't comprehend. Okay, so let's stop with the self-discovery before marriage. Let's just stop it, okay, altogether. That's the point here. So self-discovery is a beautiful place to be, believe it or not. So you've gone through some experiences, and now you have self-discovery. I digress on that. So self-discovery is how you can actually be a seducer. That's how you hone your seduction skills. You might be, when you don't know any better, when you're naturally a beauty to behold, right? A handsome guy. Everything about you is naturally attractive, naturally, but that only can last for so long. Okay, so self-discovery leads to becoming the seducer that you need to be. Seduction. Okay, that's you want to be able to do that from an intentional place. You're going to need that in long-term relationships and marriage. Okay, you're going to need that. And seduction leads to attraction. Obviously, seduction leads to attraction. Let's go here. None of this is going to happen outside of attraction. All right, so what do you mean attraction? No, it's not just physical. It's anything that you find attractive. Every human being have what they find attractive. Just think of it in that terms. It's not just physical. That's just one piece of it, right? That only lasts for so long, right? That's why just because your beauty to behold can only last for so long. Once we've been there, done that, that becomes, So now that leads to when you have attraction and you can experience somebody now drawing back to you and they're connected to you again. Now you have evidence, or what we call confidence. Evidence or confidence. We're going to put that on the board right here. Evidence or confidence. All right. Evidence / confidence. Right? That becomes confidence. You have the evidence that becomes confidence, right? So once you've seen results, basically your confidence is boosted, right? All that because you're educated, you're experiencing what we're talking about. You're seeing your partner drawing back to you in real time because you did the work on self. Boom, right? You can see it. If you can see it, you do it over and over again. Everybody else says you just happen to be lucky. You're just a lucky one. Everybody else, once cheated, is over. And you're like, yeah, if you say so. Okay, that's all you've seen. Okay. Again, everybody only talks about what they know, right? So when you have evidence and confidence, that actually helps grounding even better. The grounding, because the foundation becomes stronger. I suppose the fake foundation that most people create from just theoretical understanding. If you haven't been through this kind of stuff, you have an unfair advantage over people that haven't been through this kind of stuff, because your grounding, your foundation is actually going to be stronger. So this evidence actually feeds grounding even more. Okay, so let's go over what we just discovered. Okay, this is beautiful. Oh my God, this is beautiful. All right. It begins with the same discovery. Let's just do a quick understanding of what we're looking at, right? It begins, everything is triggered because you discovered that the one is something else or someone else, right? You no longer feel special. You don't feel significant, which is a basic human need, particularly in marriage, right? You don't feel as though that you're any more significant in that relationship, right? So the discovery triggers this path, but instead of going that path that I showed you earlier on, which is feeling or yielding to the sense of rejection you feel, you decided to engage some kind of grounding, right? We're not denying the messages, the affair, the attachment, or the person, the other person. The difference is what you do next, right? Discovery now moves you into grounding, right? Sometimes we call it your pause assessment to see what's going on, because hey, that just tells you information about the state of your marriage, right? So you slow your reactions. You don't react from that place of emotions of defeat, right? You don't become a defeatist in your mindset, which is what most people do, sadly, right? You return to gratitude. You return to prayer, right? Where appropriate, because prayer without work is useless, right? You fall back to patience, right? Emotional regulation, reality, because you have what you have in front of you and is real, right? You refuse to allow that. However, you refuse to allow that and all that new detail to control your state. So grounding now reconnects you to purpose. Right? We're going in the direction of self-discovery, right? Instead of making the triangle your full-time mission, like going round and round and round, just getting obsessive, right? You redirect your pain into the life, the work, your health, parenting, because if you have kids, that you can't leave that hanging, right? Contribution, right? You have opportunity to contribute to other people that are not as fortunate as you are. Remember gratitude? Yes. That's what grounding does, right? You find your identity. You make sure you stay focused on your identity, because you are somebody. You're somebody's daughter, somebody's son before all of this happened. So purpose will lead you into self-discovery and self-leadership. Make sense? Yes or yes? So we've gone to grounding, getting you back into purpose, right? Self-discovery. That's the GPS. If you don't know this, we do have a 3 core pillars here called the GPS. That's the GPS right there, right? You need to be grounded in these 3 things before you could do anything else. Anything else you do outside of this is going to fail. Okay, you're going to push your partner even further away. Even worse, you will struggle with future relationships. Because it's easy, like, no, I will just dump them. I just dump them and move on. I will never accept that. It's not that simple. Because it's never about the other person. At the end of the day, it's about you. Your reactions are actions you're responsible for. So your shadow follows you everywhere you go. So there's no escaping. Once you've had this type of discovery in life, there's no escaping it. You're going to feel what you feel, a sense of rejection, and you're going to attempt to prove yourself to everything that comes along for the rest of your life. That's not where you want to be at. And you're going to train your kids to behave the same way when it comes to, what's the behavior I'm talking about? I'm not talking about dumping a person. If you can dump a person and go find healing, perfect. But most people don't do that. They dump a person and blame everything on everything else but self. That is a problem. That's a problem. That's the wrong foundation to build the rest of your life on. Self-leadership does not mean forcing your partner to choose you, because that's not leadership, right? It means taking authority over your conduct, emotional energy, your decisions, contribution to the marital dynamic, to your own self first, because you cannot afford to pour from an empty cup. And that self-discovery leads you, it makes seduction possible again. Seduction is not manipulation. Okay, it is creating an emotional experience through patience, restraint, confidence. Confidence is always sexy. I keep telling you that. And it is not as easy as telling myself I'm confident or I'm independent. That's most of the time useless. It's as useless as the word that's altering it. Okay, it's something that you have to exude, you have to live it, you have to experience it, right? That's why I said evidence/confidence, right? Social intelligence, warmth, mystery, not being so predictable, right? And self-command. You begin removing the anti-seducers, okay, which we can discuss another time. Things like neediness, policing, moralizing, reacting, emotional suffocation. What do you mean moralizing? People should just do the right thing. Welcome to the real world. I know you're a perfect human being. The rest of us will continue to try to be perfect, okay? Seduction creates room for attraction. You don't just press buttons for attraction. Seduction creates room for attraction, especially if you have history with this person. Remember what I told you about the unfair comparison. You're comparing with novelty, heat of the moment nonsense that people think they can run away from their problems. No, that's not going to. If you know what you're doing, it has no standing. Regardless of what it looks like on the surface, it has no standing. You are always in control. You have that stronghold on them, but you only have that power if you know you have it. Okay? So that's evidence. Confidence is building. I hope that's making sense, guys. So we've gone through seduction, self-discovery, attraction, right? Yeah, we've done that. Attraction leaves room for attraction.